So today we're going to talk about high heat coatings. They're important for restorations and even for modern vehicles because the older cars have more propensity to overheat, be subject to heat and cold cycles, and that impacts the way that they run. So today we're going to also look at an intake and exhaust manifold for a 1937 Chevrolet. So this piece can be taken apart. I have it bolted here together. We're going to do some prep work on it. The exhaust manifold portion on the bottom here, we're going to leave the high heat coating the way it is. The top portion is the intake manifold. We're going to coat with high heat coating, and at another time we'll paint the stock color that it might have been on the 37 Chevrolet. But the key is the high heat coating allows this carburetor on the top to be more efficient because the high heat coating prevents those thermal cycles from getting too hot and allows the vehicle to run at a more stable temperature throughout its run cycle and ranges. So there's a benefit besides the cosmetic and protection, but on some of these older vehicles, there's some mechanical thermal qualities also for a quality high heat coating to be on your intake manifold and of course your exhaust manifold. Okay, so today we're going to be reconditioning an intake and exhaust manifold for 1937 Chevrolet inline 6 engine. It's here on our hoist. It's being hung by its original carburetor. I'm leaving all the pieces on so that when we spray it, we don't get paint into the different threads. So you can see the manifold threads are there, the sprocket threads are there. We'll take all that off later. We've also done some basic prep on it already. So we've done the sanding to this piece. You can see it's a cast iron piece, so it's always going to have a little bit of a surface to it. It's not a smooth piece. That's the way they were made. So we're going to get started with it. It's a pretty basic process that's going to do a lot to help both protect and enhance the performance of this piece. So you're going to want to get broad strokes as best you can, but there's a lot of nooks and crannies in here. So I'd start with a light basic coat and make sure you have something for the paint to bind into. It's best if you're home, you can find some other ways to use a ladder at home with a hanger to get this similar effect so that you can have full access to your piece. You can see where it's already getting soaked into those areas that are more porous. That's really where your prevention and protection comes from by using this product. And so I will share this has a great high temperature rating of 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's higher than a lot of the products that are out there on the market as high heat temperature paints. And as it starts to soak in and dry, I'm going to let it dry a little bit more. Once this gets a little flatter, looks like this surface, we'll go ahead and put a nice heavy second coat on here. That should be enough to keep this piece well protected and looking good and performing good for many years. I'm going to do my second coat. This one we're going to lay a little heavier, get that final finish on here. So we have our second coat on there. You can see this is a very nice hard protective finish. It's going to give you the thermal qualities you need. The manifold is color. It's good to know though that this is also available in a silver color, so some may prefer that, or if you have a custom project and silver is more preferable for the project you're working on, that's available. And then when we disassemble this, we will be able to paint the manifold the appropriate color, and we'll still have the thermal protective qualities of the high heat coating under that factory color on the intake manifold. But we'll be leaving the exhaust manifold with this finish the way it is when we reassemble this vehicle.